Flight boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Attorney Smooth. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And we gonna get into, motherfucker, what's the purpose of the low vibrational energy for all my goddamn celebrities out there. So this video is for all my celebrities. That's right, all my celebrated blood cells out in this motherfucker. So all my stars, all y'all stars out there, no matter what kind of business and what frequency vibration you're floating in to be a star and to emit your imagination in, you need to know, as a male, you represent the sun. If you are a female, you are a moon. So the more you understand how those energy signatures play out, the more you understand what you're receiving and what you're manifesting and how you're attracting and the energy you're pushing off, aka your space and location and your positioning and how you're affecting people. So you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times females may have a lot of masculine traits, aka planets that's dealing with the yang. So a lot of times they push out transparent energy, but the transparent energy look just like the sun. So a lot of times they be too masculine, too forceful. And when I say too masculine, that don't necessarily mean being a tomboy. That don't necessarily mean being a dyke. A lot of times that means being too forceful. You controlling the circumstance of situation. You making sure all the responsibilities is taken care of. You making sure all the structure is right. AKA a female shouldn't be utilizing that much of her left brain. So if she's in a relationship or if she's in a business amongst a bunch of sons, aka males, where she's the majority person who's analyzing and constructing all her left brain, she's going to wear herself out a lot faster than the sons that's in the business. For an example, and vice versa. When a male utilizes too much of his right brain energies, he wear himself out. So when a male gets too much emotionally attached to things become chaotic to the point that this stresses out a son, aka a male. And when a female utilizes too much of her masculine, aka her left side, this wears her out to the point that she gets stressed out because she can't be transparent the way she want to be. So we got to create some type of balance between us as motherfucking stars, aka suns and moons. So you need to know, as a celebrity, a sun and moon, male and female, when you're going there and walking into these corporations, a corporation is nothing more, nothing less but a constellation. Now, what is a constellation? A group of suns and moons, a group of stars orchestrating in a certain pattern and a routine that creates a body, a shape and form. And that shape and form we take from that body is how we analyze the concept of how that body is playing out the characteristics. So when you're correlating with a corporation or signing things as far as business and things of that nature, you know you're signing with a corporation. You know you're walking into a constellation. So if you're not naturally a part of that constellation, aka these are not your family, they wasn't born in your space and location. They're not aware of the same thing you are aware of. These are the group of stars and things of that nature from a group of different places, but they all wanted to learn what was rotating in that specific space and location to the point that they all became that constellation. They keep that business, that system, that organization, that corporation going, aka that constellation system going. So whatever that constellation is built on, aka the body of it, that lets you know what your sun or moon is going to portray in it, what your imagination going to portray in it. And depending on how big your sun or how big your moon is, aka how big your spirit, your space that you expanded and contracted, aka made the shape and form around it bigger, the moon or the sun, aka your physical form. I'm speaking 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional to y'all though right now, so I don't really want to come down to 3D but keep trying to conflate shit so how y'all can understand it. You see what I'm saying? But for the most part, just understand your spirit is expanding and contracting, and based upon that's experiences, and they don't care about what you think is good or bad about the experience through the vessel that you're in at the moment. It is care about experiences, and the more you have experience, the more spiritually inclined you are, aka you have wisdom, aka you have an expanded spirit, that an expansion and contraction is much wider. So therefore the shape and form you can go into to be aware of yourself could be that much greater. So you may take a bigger shape and form than someone else. So in the 3rd dimension, you may be a wiser person, a person who can handle more awareness, who can handle more business, who can handle more responsibility, aka you have more experience, so your expansion contraction, aka your gain and losses, could be way more greater than the person you are next to, even if y'all the same motherfucking size or y'all the same motherfucking age. You see what I'm saying? So goddamn it, I just slipped and got to the 3rd dimension. Let me stop and see it. Sometimes I do be having to break it down for y'all so y'all can clearly understand what I'm talking about 3rd dimensional wise. But you need to know you're going into a corporation. So this corporation, now here's the thing. Let's get into what's the purpose of low vibrational energy. Because if you are a celebrity, here's the thing. People want to look at low vibrational energy. Y'all want to tie on, y'all want to cling on to certain spectrums of where we at, which is this is all space, and you all have energy signatures and experiences for yourself. So don't discount exclude one of them just because you're following a spirit into one space and location. And since that spirit ain't in this space and location, that space and location automatically by default be the opposition. So it becomes the oppressor in your realm of reality. So you may call that space and location a Satan. So every star, every sun and moon coming into your space from that space and location, you call them a Satan or a demon or a hater or someone who's opposing your ideas or concepts. But you just need to know, even if it's not physically a person, place, or thing, 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional wise, it may be a deity or an entity that you are following in a space that's away from things that you may be opposing and causing limitations amongst yourself. So keep that in mind also. But what you need to know is the purpose of low vibrational energy isn't necessarily exclusive to negativity. It's just related to the feminine energy. It's related to the negative energy. But based upon the realm of reality that y'all are in, it could play out in multitude of ways. It could be positive in some ways. It could be negative, and it could play out negative in some ways because y'all are in such a low realm of reality. This is how you can decipher things of that nature. When you see love could be negative sometimes, and love could be positive. How is that? Sometimes you could love something so hard, it could become the detriment of yourself. And you don't understand how to do things in moderation, or you may let whatever you're indulging into and destroy you. That's loving something too much. You know what I'm saying? But you can then, love can flip out and be good. Some things don't have enough love in it. When you express your love to it, that thing show appreciation. Whether it's an animal, a person, or even a material. When you show certain love energy signatures to the material things that you have, they start to look nice. I'm telling you, pay attention. If you're a type of person who like to take care of your clothes, but not just take care of it. You may be a person who lay it around, but you are a person that be like, man, but I'm into this or whatever like that. It's on your vibrations. It will stay cleaner a lot longer than someone who just don't give a fuck about clothes. And you might be the same type of person who just go lay your clothes around the same way this person lay their clothes around. But your shoes and your shirts, for some reason, will stay more clean than a person who don't have this on their mind to be like, I care about this though. You see what I'm saying? You may be a person who still care about it, but still lay it around the same way as this person. But it's a certain frequency vibration that we have power and we be creating. This shit is deep, I'm telling you. Now, here's the purpose of low vibrational energy, because it's not exclusive to what y'all want to call bad or wrong in this realm of reality. So, here's the thing. Low vibrational energy is when things can become dense. Things can become settled. Things can become a shape or form after it's been curated, you know what I'm saying, and nourished, and growth. You know what I'm saying? So growth, what is growth? When you have an idea and then you start to add on to it, start to act on it, right? You start to see that seed grow because now things is added to it. So now you have took a high thought that may have just been one thought or one sound, one ear and not the other. You have took that, honed in on it, took it into your inner worlds, took it into your waters. You see what I'm saying? Took it into your imagination and started creating it, right? Therefore, you're putting water on that seed. So now that seed gets to grow because you let that seed have more experiences, right? So that frequency is now vibrating. So here's the thing. The lower you can make that high ideal vibrate low, the more you're bringing a high ideal and you're willing it into the realm of reality that you are in. So this is the whole purpose of vibrating low. Honing in on something. Consistency. Even if it leads into the negative end of stubbornness. Having something logically on your mind that you can actually build on. And you're building on it. AKA whatever the grounding is the idea. And if you build on that specific idea and concept, it becomes a building. It becomes a temple. It becomes a church. Now, this is why y'all got bodies right now, because y'all was following the spirit that wanted to create a temple for itself. So y'all don't understand this shit. Now, look, check this. You just don't get it. But look. The purpose of vibrating low is for you can take your imagination or your dream or your body or your concept and experience it for a longer period of time before expiration. So this is the whole purpose of us creating lower dimensions. You know what I'm saying? So this is demonic energy. This is Lord energy being lowered down. Yeah, if you want to get religious, but for the most part, if you want to ask Archangel Uriel, I'm going to tell you, all y'all goddamn spirits wanted to do this goddamn shit. So stop calling each other names and casting stones at each other when y'all all got glass goddamn houses. God damn it. Take these names and these concepts from another spirit away from out of y'all mind. This the shit y'all wanted to do. Don't y'all want to experience y'all dreams? Don't y'all want to live happily and forever? Don't it start with your imagination and dreams? Well, goddamn it, quit following goddamn spirits that make you justify that goddamn shit. Come up with dumbass names What demon is this coming into? Is this being a deity coming into density? Understanding deism, where you could be where you're in a world of an entity that may not have no influence on you. So think about it. You're your own universe. You're your own God, right? So you're just living amongst the world. What did he do? What did he do? You don't necessarily be having no influence on your blood cells and shit, unless you start to intake and shit like that. But you're not thinking, man, if I intake this blunt right now, what is Tom, Dick, and Harry thinking in my heart system? Or what is Tom, Dick, and Harry thinking in my liver system? Your ass ain't thinking that. Your ass going amongst your subconscious realm, your true state of being. And then their physical forms and their true state of beings got to suffer the consequences. So you need to think about that from the same realm of reality. Stop coming up with dumbass shit like objective morality and shit like that. Y'all motherfuckers just retarded. Now, check this out. When we talk about, now, the whole purpose of being the low vibrational energy is this, right? Because for something to be low vibrational, things can be added. Weight can be gained. It can be brought out down into density and brought into your realm of reality and become a shape or form. Whether it play out as a person, place, or thing into your life, here's the whole purpose, right? The thing is, something has to be heavy. So whatever your creative abilities are, or whatever you're trying to emit in this realm of reality, it has to be heavy enough to be well down here, right? So it has to be heavy enough to make an impact. So I don't give a fuck whatever you're doing. If it's light, like what's the homeboy, what's dude named J-Rock on battle rap and shit like that, shout out to URL and Smack, you know what I'm saying? When he be like, it's light, a lot of times it's correlated to shit going over your head. Now, why your spirit telling you to say that? Like I said, be careful. Every fucking word you say, your spirit be trying to tell you. Y'all just get lost in people's interpretations. Now, when you hear shit like it's light, now in battle rap, that means when something goes over somebody's head or it's not heavy. It's something you could bypass. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't really that serious. So you need to take that into the realm of reality. I told y'all when y'all looking at light, don't look at light as the concept of light as scientists trying to teach y'all, photons and shit. Look at light as the concept of in weight. So the lighter object is, the lighter it is, the more it can go up. Now, the more light bodies come together, it can be seen as a whole perspective. So, for the most part, if you got an imagination and a thought, you are emitting a small portion of your motherfucking what they call that shit, the archives. So your little parasite, you putting your little light, your little spaceship up there. Now, if we in a collective conscious and we all doing that and we all got similar ideas, that's gonna make one whole light body. Then this the light body that y'all clinging on to, but the spirit that's in that one, y'all followed that one here in this space and location. So since that one is more experienced and it was in this space and location first, it has more wisdom and knowledge and authority to take over the wisdom and knowledge over the whole body. Same way that you did. You are a greater spirit than all the lesser spirits in you. So since you are a spirit, got control over your whole constellation, all your constellations and your whole body, all the blood cells, all the mini stars, all the minerals, your blood cells, all the mini stars, they are the lesser spirits that was following you. But since you was in this space before them, you are the greater spirit. So you're able to take the greater shape and form, the greater body. And they have to take the lesser body. So they live within you. You know what I'm saying? So your Christ and your shit and all that shit. So you need to understand that, you know what I'm saying? If you want to look at the world that we are in, God is in a specific space and location. And when you go there, the specific location is like a body of water. Now this body of water is like what y'all want to think is like oil or some shit like that. But for the most part, in that frequency vibration, everything is currents. And that's the first current. The first being going in within itself. So y'all don't go visit y'all ancestors to even know that ancestor. That's what I be trying to tell y'all. Y'all all twist up and... But this video is about celebrities right here. So you know what I'm saying? This is the whole purpose of low vibrational energy. Something has to be heavy enough to make a motherfucking impact. Now, what makes an energy low vibrational? When there's a lot of attention being paid towards it, aka a lot of suns and moons paying their attention to something, aka emitting their thoughts and imagination, aka emitting their light. And the more light as a collective conscious get added to something, the more it can become dense and it can become heavy enough to be willed into a realm of reality. So from far away, you know what I'm saying, you just looking at a star as it's a body of water or a current or a conscious wave or something like that. But the closer you get, you will see as many different stars. You will see as an asterism. You will see as actually a constellation. See what I'm saying? So that's what you need to understand. It takes many different things to make a body of something. The same way it takes many different minerals to make the body of the ocean. You motherfuckers need to get with this shit. We are in water. Period. And it's just frequency vibrations of it. and you're in this dimension of it. So that's how this plays out of it. But we're able to understand dimensions based upon how shapeless and formless water is in general. So what makes low vibrational energy is when you walk into a corporation, walk into a business, that is a bunch of suns and moons paying attention to a certain concept, something that they was building on in that building. Now, for the most part, since there's so much lights being emitted, being interacted, that makes it heavy. So now, this makes it kind of good for you to align your sun or your moon, if you're a female or a male, aka y'all celebrities, y'all stars. It'd be good to make yourself, your star, a part of that energy signature, because it'll make whatever you're trying to create that much more heavier and make that much more impact. But a lot of times as a star, you need to make sure whatever constellation you're making yourself a part of is agreeable to your state of being, because you could be pushed out as an agenda, and you could be directed in a directed to a space or location to emit light to a group of, to influence a bunch of group of suns and moons. As you being the star, sun or moon, you'll be focused and directed into a specific space and location to influence a bunch of motherfucking suns and moons to do shit that this corporation, aka this constellation, wants you to do. And however that concept got built, aka however they business start to work, and whatever shit that they agree with, aka laws and shit like that, that will be the shit that you're used to pushed out. But based upon what you're receiving, aka you being in a space and location and receiving energy, and you being able to create shapes and forms, aka shit in your life in the third dimension to sustain yourself better than other people, you'll be able to do that. But those are lights also. And those lights blind you from the fact that you are in the wrong space and location, aka in the wrong state of being. And eventually you're going to get washed up in that current. Especially when that corporation start to go down esoterically and they start to go through 4th, 5th, or 6th dimensional wars. So, you know, as stars, y'all got to think about this shit deep. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all know a lot of shit that the average people don't know just based upon experience. So a lot of times y'all don't know what y'all experiencing. Y'all just know that y'all have spiritual power. So y'all just know that y'all naturally can emit solar systems and chakras and imaginations into the world effectively. But the thing is, since y'all don't notice what y'all doing, y'all end up representing corporations and other constellations that may know what they're doing, or they may just be lost as y'all just because they're just going along the basic system of this world that everybody lost in. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times people can't be holding faults to people. Like, you know, when you hear a lot of people say, soon as a person get enlightened about something and they discover something, the first thing they say is, see, this is something that they ain't want you to know about. See, a lot of times I don't even like that, because you need to understand that I don't give no power to no motherfucking human, a motherfucking state of being that's taking a man-shaped form in these 7 chakra hue colors. I put all the blame on the higher entities, whatever realm of reality I'm in. So I know. Once I know the realm of reality I'm in, I know what's high and I know what's low. And then I give that. So I just be looking at the motherfucking people who share the same shape and form of I'm in as motherfucking just being influenced. None of y'all motherfuckers got power like that. So when I look at that shit, it ain't no they nothing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, whoever people be blaming, talk about they don't want you, these motherfuckers be just as lost as the motherfuckers saying that they don't want you. See what I'm saying? That's what you need to understand. And you just need to step into your own power and take they shit over. Do the same shit that they doing. And like I told y'all, a lot of times y'all motherfucking spirits is more powerful than these motherfucking spirits. Soon as you jump in and play ball game, your ass take over their whole shit. Now, I hate to get into race, but black people been doing this shit for years. Now, I don't like to use races. I don't even look at that, but I'm just using this for an example, right? You got black people who grow up indoctrinated, who grow up religious and things of that nature. But think about all the black people who just jump out and just do shit and say, fuck it, I'm just going to do the same thing that everybody else is doing, I'm doing it. So think about every black person who started playing music, every black person who started playing basketball, every black person who started playing all the sports and all that shit. What the fuck did they do? They took the fucking shit over. So I don't give a fuck who ruled the fucking corporation / constellation. The motherfucking star was the fucking sun or moon who was carrying some fucking dark energy from somewhere in a space or location that ain't from this space or location, from people who can construct things with no problem here. If you can construct things and analyze and rationalize without no spirituality and just get yourself formulated in this lifetime, your ass is from here. You see what I'm saying? If you went through a deep trial or tribulation to get where you are today, and you had to understand the ways of the worlds and had to understand your space and location and understand your space and position, you're not from here. You just came here. Otherwise, you wouldn't even be in no circumstantial situation where you got to figure things out in your life. Fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, that's your spirit in a space and location trying to figure out where the fuck is at. Because it's unfamiliar where the fuck is at. Now think about all the blood cells that walk the earth, that they just live along, walk commonly, and feel. Now this ain't got shit to do with race. This you see black people walk the earth like this, Asian, white people, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, and then vice versa. You got white people that live like they ain't from here. Black people, Asians. So this is a spiritual thing. This ain't got nothing to do with y'all talking about as race and shit. That's why I hate I even brought that into it. Because y'all know me. Y'all know me. But you need to understand. This is a spiritual thing. And you got a group of people from all different races. But they all they spirits might be from the same space or location. So they all made a corporation. They all made a business. They all friends. They all behind the scenes friends and shit. They all work together and create a corporation. Because they all in the same soul group. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all need to understand. So y'all seeing these presidents and all that shit, I don't care if they, or people in these Senate seats and shit like that, I don't care if they white or black. For them to either be in a state of being, to want that kind of job, to do these kind of things, they all related in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. They family. You see what I'm saying? That's what you need to understand. Third dimension down here, this is an illusion. Y'all got to get with the fucking program. But look, the whole purpose of obtaining low vibrational energy is because, you know what I'm saying, you need something to be heavy enough to make an impact for whatever you're doing. So, you know what I'm saying, by default, you got a lot of beings, like I said, these corporations and things of that nature, they've been orchestrating because they've been knowing shit and been experiencing shit before you, growing up in your space and location and not knowing where the fuck you at, having to get with the program based upon their system. So just due to that fact, they're already so heavy. So their building can't really be budged. And a lot of y'all conscious people down here be trying to budge their building third dimensional wise. And that's where y'all get lost. You gotta see, once the mind leave, then the body leave. So you gotta cut the head off first. You know what I'm saying? Like a chicken. Cut the head off, the body might run around, but eventually, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna fall. So that's what y'all not understanding. When you try to attack something third dimensional wise, you're trying to hit the body first. But the mind, like if you was in jail, what's the first thing you gonna say? They could trap the body, but they can't trap the mind. So since I don't give a fuck about the body, the mind always has the ability to create. Whether it got the body or not, you could be fucking blind. Your ass still creating. So it doesn't fucking matter about the body, it's about the creation. So you need to kill the creation. Then the body will fall. The body will be vacant and empty for you to run in it and do whatever the fuck you want to do with that building. You to do whatever you want to do with the downtown court system building. You could turn that shit to a motherfucking cathedral, a motherfucking conscious church or some shit like that. You see what I'm saying? But you can't do that by going up, being a Hebrew Israelites or having signs in front of the third dimensional building of it. Your ass need to get risen enough, fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional wise. Because see, reason why I was saying everything is opposite. When y'all looking up, y'all looking down. So y'all looking at the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional wise, fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional from the added on nature. That's why things is getting heavy. So if this was 0 right here, y'all looking at the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional realm from the 0, 1, 2, 3 plus. When y'all looking up. So plus is adding on. Density. We know adding brings down. Adding on makes more heavy. You add more water in the bucket is heavier. So it brings down in the realm of reality. So when y'all adding, that's bringing yourself down. Being more prosperous in your position or having more or gaining more responsibilities, putting you more in a rotation. So that's down. So when y'all looking up in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension from y'all aspect based upon the spirit that y'all following, y'all look up, y'all looking down. Y'all not looking up until you get in the spectrum of wintertime. And y'all turn that way, but y'all slightly looking tilted. Y'all don't slightly be looking all the way. Y'all just be looking at the 10th house, which is slightly catacorner. You know what I'm saying? But when the sun is setting, that y'all think is setting or descending is really rising where it's at. It's descending, what y'all think is rising. But when y'all think is setting, it's really ascending where it's at. And it's motherfucker ascending on, like, if this was 0, it's going back to negative. The art of deduction, where shapes and forms get less. Where the sun don't appear 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional wise as it appears more shapeless and formless. And it burns the veil. It burns the cloth. It burns that whiteness off of it and just be no thing. It go back more to that area. But we so deep in the ocean, period, within this being that we are and the beings it was following, that to get a breath of fresh air is waste. Woo! Woo! Telling you, this motherfucker. Don't think I'll be astral traveling. But like I said, all my celebrities out there, be careful what corporation, aka what constellation you sign terms and agreements with. Because for the most part, if you ain't got no esoteric lawyer, aka you a celebrity, you a sun and moon, and you don't watch Archangel Uriel, you might be fucked in the game to the point that your contract down here in the third dimension may not only be fucked up, but your fourth, fifth, and fifth, sixth dimensional contract is fucked up. Therefore, even when you say fuck everything in the third dimension, your mind's still all fucked up. You still feel obligated. You feel like you need to run and hide and shit like that, or may need to kill yourself. So fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, your ass still playing out the goddamn contract. I gotta get you out of that. I gotta get you out of that. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get you out of that. See what I'm saying? And that's what I'm here for. So this is motherfucking part 1. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air on a motherfucking Sunday, because we all motherfucking stars.